There we go. I figured it out. Ooh, mouse is acting a little bit. I figured out what was wrong with my stream chat. If I open up the video and I'm actually setting in private mode, and I flip it to public mode on YouTube for streaming, it actually the stream chat still isn't actually connected. So I just have to refresh the window. So, hey, what's up, Ben? I'm sorry, dude. I'll be playing a while pretty soon, probably. Gotta get him caught up there. It's getting dark out here. Ah! Got caught on some terrain. Trying to find my favorite little building. I think it's right over here. Oh, so I did change my Sorceress's appearance. She looks very dark, but she actually doesn't look quite that dark. It just happens. I mean, she does look dark. I went with kind of a grayish, darker skin, but it's just because it's so damn dark outside. As you can see, it's a beautiful night. There's moonbeams in the air, I guess. Alright. Trying to find my favorite spot. It's not quite. Where is it? I'm all kind of turned around here. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it right here. Yeah, this is it. Oh, let it rain. Big damage. What's up, Tecto? How's it going, man? So yeah, Badgic, I did change my Mystic, or my Sorcerer, I mean. He's a little bit more ominous looking. So, ooh, you do not want to hit me, mofo. Getting tired of geometries. Dude, I watched a video today on Black Desert, and it was by Lighthouse, Golden Lighthouse or something gaming. He's actually a pretty cool guy, does some good YouTube videos, and he was talking about how most people quit Black Desert pretty much, you know, they all pretty much quit around the same time. They play the game like, oh wow, the character creator's great, the graphics are great, the combat's great, but then they find out that the game's really just a grind, and it's basically a rinse and repeat for like a year and a half, and even by then you might not have the best gear in the game. And it's actually very true. When you watch that video, you're like, oh my god, you know, why are you even playing this game? But Black Desert is not for the faint of heart. It's a very grindy game, and if you're not prepared to relax and play this game for 2-3 years to try to get the maximum gear, best gear you can possibly get, then you probably shouldn't play it. I'm just playing to pass the time until either Burning Crusade comes out, Amazon's New World comes out, or of course we're looking forward to Yeah, Crimson Desert, but that's a long ways away off, I think, you know. Yeah, well, you're grinding like with the profession stuff, which is cool. I think if you want to do professions and stuff, the game can be quite a bit, you know, easier. I mean, it's not as doesn't feel as grindy. You're not, you know, doing like what I'm doing and killing mobs. You kill mobs over and over again. It's actually pretty taxing, even on your hand. Your hand gets pretty tired, and it can be pretty taxing. But yeah, I mean, really, to get the best game and the best gear in this game, it takes a long time. I'll show you the video I'm talking about, because it's actually a pretty good video and pretty disappointing. I mean, not disappointing, but a little bit depressing. And I think he calls Lighthouse Games. Yeah, Lon, let's do video. Games Lighthouse, this guy. He does some pretty decent videos. I like his videos, and he's got one on Quit video.
For most new players, they'll follow the Black Spirit's quest. They'll go to different areas, starting off in Balanos, then Serendia, then Calpheon, and... Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be talking about why new players quit Black Desert Online at a higher rate than I've seen new players quit other MMOs.
And what he says in this video, I think, is pretty much
this is all going to be anecdotal evidence. It's all friends of mine that have joined and quit, people I know that have joined and quit, guildmates I know that have joined and quit, guildmates of friends who have told me about stories like this, or just people that I've talked to in running this channel. So, Black Desert is a game where the new player experience is key to why new players join the game, rate it very highly at first, and then leave within usually about 2 weeks to maybe 2 months of joining the game. And that's because there's 3 real stages to the new player experience in Black Desert. Black Desert's new player experience starts off very strong. In fact, I would rate Black Desert's new player experience at the beginning as probably the best new player experience of any MMO I've ever played since my first MMO, which would have been RuneScape. Back in 2004, 2005. So, it starts off with character creation, and Black Desert's character creation is probably the best character creation I've ever seen. They could sell this character creation as its own standalone client to create fantasy models and avatars, and people would buy it. It's that good. You can spend hours and hours in Black Desert content creator or character creator and come out with entirely different looking characters, and it's amazing. And this is what new players are greeted by when they fire up the game for the first time. They get to see all the classes with the cool little videos playing on the bottom right, and then they get to make that class look pretty much however they like within the bounds of the character creator. Following that, they get sent to Alvia, and the graphics of the game match how amazing the character looks. The graphics in Black Desert are stunning. The vistas are incredible. You can go and look at the sea, you can go up mountains, you can go to the desert. There are so many different locations, and they all look amazing. And right after you find out how cool the graphics are, you get thrust into the combat. And Black Desert's combat is, just like its graphics, probably the best in MMOs right now. There's no other MMO that can really compete with Black Desert in terms of how fun the combat is. Terra, Blade and Soul, neither of them are as fun. Guild Wars 2, ESO, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, all different types of combat. None of them, in my opinion, as fun as Black Desert's. And for most new players, they'll follow the Black Spirit's quest, they'll go to different areas, starting off in Balanos, then Serendia, then Calpheon, and they'll have a lot of fun questing, killing monsters. The quest line itself, it's nothing amazing or anything. In fact, it kind of sucks, but at least you can kind of follow along with it at first, and it will make some sense. And it does bring you to level appropriate areas, which is good for new players. The new player experience in Black Desert starts off incredibly strongly, and it's great. However, then you get to the stage where people first start to quit, and that's what I call stage 2, or the overwhelmed stage. This usually occurs
overwhelmed in Black Desert.
45 to 50.
Yeah, you can certainly get overwhelmed in Black Desert.
And it usually happens when the player starts to look up information about Black Desert.
And then they realize, oh my effing god, there's so much stuff
because they're finding that
to do.
Either they've hit Manshaws or Catfish Men, or maybe they went to Giants a bit early, or maybe they went to Medea to farm the Asula set like they were told to by someone in server chat, or they joined a guild and were told to farm the Asula set, and they wanted to look up some information and Helms were murdering them, and they wanted to upgrade their gear. Well, once you start looking into Black Desert, it's a very complex game, and there's a lot of content that Black Desert has to offer. And this is both a good and a bad point. On the one hand, it's good because the more content a game has to offer, the more you can get engaged, the more you can be involved, and the more you have to do apart from just mindlessly grinding, which is all Black Desert really had to offer for most players that are just starting out. They don't get taught about gathering until you reach that little town of Florin, just northeast of Calpheon, and other life skills, you get taught about them a little, but it's more left up for you to discover. So once players start to learn about the worker empire, how CP works, how energy topics work, how enhancement and fail stacking work, it can all be a little overwhelming. And as they learn about all this, they also start to learn about the cash shop. And usually they get taught about pretty much the most important purchase in the cash shop, which is pets. They don't have to really know about lodgings or storage or weight or the processing outfit. Don't need to worry about any of that yet. They're just kind of starting with the very basics of Black Desert beyond just simple combat and questing. And a lot of players, they'll still keep fighting through this because Black Desert is a lot of fun and there's a lot to experience, and the more content a game has to offer, usually the better the game is. So most players won't quit at stage 2. However, stage 2 leads into stage 3, and stage 3 is really when players start to quit, and that's when players start to realize what endgame in Black Desert really means, both in terms of getting to endgame and what participating in endgame involves. So endgame in Black Desert is a long way away. Most players that quit on the journey to endgame would be about 56, and 57 is really the level I notice a lot of players quit at. And that's because 56, really 57, and these days even 58, because 58 is pretty easy to get now, is when a player has played long enough that they've been grinding. They've probably grinded for at least 10-15 hours, and they're starting to realize what the game entails, the reliance on silver, that they need pets if they want to earn money while grinding, how AFK income works. They're starting to realize all this, and also how far away endgame works. And the other big kind of tipping point for a lot of new players, is when they get kicked off the Alvia servers and start to realize how powerless a new player is compared to someone that isn't even at endgame, just
you'll basically get one shot.
A player in full tri-boss gear will make short work of a player wearing full duo green gear, which is actually quite difficult for a new player to get. Most new players will struggle to earn new green gear. They struggle to earn the tens of millions required, even just for about 45 million silver for a brand new piece of duo ultimate Gruntle gear. It's even worse for weapons at about 65 million silver, and earning this money is not easy for a new player, and realizing that all of their gear put together isn't even worth a single piece of tri-gear, and tri-gear is only worth about half of even less than half actually, of a similar piece of tet gear, is really disheartening to players. And as they realize how much experience is going to be needed, how much they're going to need to grind, leaving their computer on all night so they can AFK, as well as getting more involved with the Pearl Shop, and starting to realize all the modern MMO mechanics that exist in other MMOs, such as World of Warcraft, such as auto loot,
bank space, trading bags,
sort of a normal inventory or weight system, and all this stuff that has been removed from Black Desert and sold back to players through the Pearl Shop. Grinding also becomes their life as they realize that they want to get to 60 or even 61 for the Capote ring. And then, of course, there's 62, but 62 is, even for veterans, 62 is a little out there. So this is where a lot of new players really start to quit. A lot of my guildies that, if you open up your guild list and your guild leader doesn't prune guildies, usually for about a week or two, you'll notice a lot of offline accounts that have been offline for probably a week, maybe even a week and a half, that were about 56, 57. You'll notice a lot of players on your friends list that had just gotten their awakening a couple days to maybe a week or two ago that have never logged in again.
Yeah,
a lot
me
of players
too.
that come to ask me questions will
Me too,
usually
Magic.
quit
I've
not
only
long
got
after
about another
awaken. They'll
day
get their
left
awakening, get 56,
on
57,
Olivia,
and then just decide Black
it's out
Desert
in
is
the
not the game
world.
for them, because endgame in Black Desert involves a lot of work and a lot of effort. And the payoff for endgame in Black Desert isn't that great. There's a saying in Black Desert that hitting 56 is the end of the tutorial. And that's also a saying in a lot of other games, such as World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2, where hitting max level, it's the end of the tutorial, now the real game can start. You can start doing dungeons, you can start doing raids, participate in a high-level PvP, get your endgame armor sets, get your weapons, and this is when the true game really starts. In Black Desert, it's kind of the same way, but you're not doing anything different in Black Desert. In World of Warcraft, once you hit level, right now it's 110, in about a month it'll go up. Once you hit max level, you start gearing up, you start getting blues and then later epics, you start to run dungeons, and then you run better dungeons so that you can run even better dungeons, and you run raids, and you start to participate in arena or rated battlegrounds. All this is open to you once you hit 110. Before that, you could still run.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, like, he was talking, I'm trying to remember what he was talking about there, but yeah, I mean, like you said, Magic, we're both on the Olivia servers, which are and I'll show people who are, there's a few people, no, actually there aren't hardly anybody watching the stream, but anybody, when you get on those Olivia servers, you're, and actually what's funny, Magic, is I usually have anywhere from 10 to 20 people watching me stream. The problem is that they enjoy watching World of Warcraft, not Black Desert, unfortunately. But we're going to be doing some World of Warcraft again pretty soon, because I can't play Black Desert forever. I mean, I'll keep playing it, but Black Desert's too grindy of a game for me to sink in. I mean, I would waste a lot of time in Black Desert if I wanted to be really, viable. If I wanted to be top tiered, it would just take me, it would take so much effort. Well, what he's saying basically is to get up to like the best gear in Black Desert, the pen gear for the best boss gear, could take you literally like he said he actually says in this video that he's been playing the game for like a year and a half, and he's still not even close to like the end game gear. And there was a guy in my guild, Magic, who was showing me his black stones that he has and his armor, and he had like 3,000 blackstone weapon stones, and he had about 8,500 armor stones. And I mean, when I look at my black stones and my just my armor stones, my armor and weapons, I'm probably maybe 300 each, 400 each. And I played the game back in 2014 for not real long, maybe like a couple months. It's just the grind is serious in this game, and they do set you up to where if you really want to grind effectively, you have to shove out a couple $100. I mean, you've got to buy some pets. You're going to want to increase your inventory. You're going to want to increase your inventory here. You're going to want to increase your weight limit. And, I've already spent, on this character. And then you're going to want to have the gear, because this gear, as you look here, I have all these set effects currently in effect. And most of this is, I have some Asul effects, some boss defense gear, but I also have outfit stuff. I have 8 pieces of outfit that give me combat experience plus 10, skill experience plus 10, and then weapon dirty consumption minus 10, death penalty resistance plus 10. So I have all those effects just because of my cosmetic gear. Well, this cosmetic gear alone costs like, $32 probably. The amount of money I've spent on expanding my inventory. Now keep in mind, I've had this character. This is the first character I created in Black Desert since 2014. And I've probably in total spent, I would say, because if you look at my Pearl, this is the stuff you buy from the cash shop. Like I have I actually have another set, so I have the Carlson set, but I know that I got that on sale, so that was probably around $1,800, like $18. And then I bought a cosmetic set for my ship that I built. I actually built a ship a couple months into the game, which back then nobody even knew how to build ships. It was actually quite difficult. And I had some cosmetic gear for my ship. I don't know if I can. I don't want to do that. I don't know if I can look at it here. Well, we can actually, because all we have to do is go to the shop. But if you go to the Pearl Shop here and we go to cosmetic, beauty, pet, mount, and we look at, like, for example, I wish we could here ship and filter by ships. That gear that's in my inventory right now is this. This is the cosmetic set that I have currently for my ship, and it's just a really cool looking kind of maybe Viking-esque skin for your ship. Now this is 2000, but when I bought it back in 2014 for my ship, I probably paid a little bit more, maybe not. The prices in the Black Desert shop, the only good thing is they really don't go up and down too much, other than they have specials where prices go down. So if you go to, hot deals, what's on sale, you'll see stuff that's normally like here, like this pirate furniture is normally 2,500, now it's 1,500, and you'll see a lot of cosmetic, set items. So as you go down here, and you usually see like barrel. You can see what's on sale. Costume for like the Sorceress, these are on sale. So this is normally $29 and it's $23.20. Most of this stuff I wouldn't really want anyway. And if we go to just non-sale stuff, I don't know why it's still showing. Oh, it's because I wasn't on outfit. But, these items here, like this one here is 3,400 pearls. This is that's $34 of real world money, so it's not cheap. You have some very cool looking outfits. Some of the stuff is very cool looking. You said you're probably at like $800 for each character, but I'm not sure what you mean by 800 magic. But yeah, so like the game, the way they set up the game, the way Prohibition set up Black Desert, is that you really don't have enough inventory. You don't have the ability to grind effectively, and leveling and advancing in level just by grinding mobs is very brutal. And there are ways to help you level faster, but they're called, they're usually like either doing crafting stuff. There's lots of ways to get stuff that boosts your XP. I mean, you can craft stuff that'll do it, drinks and food. But there's special events where you can get stuff that'll do it, like Magic. You were able to. You told me about this, which I didn't know about. There's an event going on right now where we just pay 1 silver, which is basically nothing. It's like paying a copper in World of Warcraft, and we get these amazing meals. Which, I mean, look at this. This is increasing my combat experience by 20%, skill experience by 10, which is insane. And I've got this scroll here, which is increasing my training experience by what, like 500 and something, just ridiculous. So, and I've got that up right now here. It's, skill experience plus 530%. So anyway, so Black Desert is set up in a way to make them money, and it's pure genius the way they've got it set up. I mean, it's really, the problem with the way they have it set up is, I mean, a lot of people don't want to pay money. And the other thing is the grinding factor. It takes too long. People don't want to have to grind for a year and a half to get to the point where they feel viable. Like, as you know, Magic, and I jumped into this game about 3 months ago. I came back and I played my lawn up 56, and I got off these the welcome back servers, where it's not, I guess, not PvP, and I got onto Calpheon, one of the Calpheon servers, and I was just getting like one shot. I went down to a level 56 area where I was grinding mobs for XP, and some sorceress, and I was on my lawn. Some sorceress came over and just boomed and stunned me to the ground, hit me like boom, boom, I was dead. I mean, it was just boom, it was crazy. And let me go back and play this guy's video. And so it's funny because like you watch this video, and I put a comment here. I said it's funny. This video made me want to quit BDO. It's probably not the intention of the guy who made it, but I played BDO day one. It's funny. I kind of struggled after 2 weeks because it felt like another job. And if you look at some of the posts in response, and one of the ones that's really dead on is, where is it? Grinding there. So if you the character creation has to be phenomenal. Yes, it is. Step 1, create character. Step 2, play a couple minutes. Step 3, uninstall. That's what one of my friends on the channel did. And see here, this is really, I think, a really pertinent comment. I quit it because the video game is to have fun. BDO is like he says it looks like a second job. BDO can feel like a second job. So if you want to be really good in BDO PvP and get top end gear, you're going to be sinking a lot of time into the game. And there's just really no way around it, and it's going to take a lot of time.
Dungeons, but they weren't endgame dungeons. Raids were more for
800 for the stones you were talking about. Also, you don't have
so extra gear,
cosmetic helm.
And battlegrounds and arena.
Oh, I think it's in my inventory.
More just
Thank
for
you.
fun or to practice mechanics, because you don't have all your
I keep taking it off.
equipped, you don't have all your skills yet, and you don't have endgame stats. In Black Desert, the things you do at 57, 58 are the exact same things you're doing at level 5, level 10, level 20, or even level 50 to 55. It's all the same. You keep on grinding. All that changes is the monsters you grind against. You still want to be able to one-shot packs. You still want to be able to defend your rotation against other players. Getting PvP'd by other players is also very demoralizing, because once you leave the Alvia server, you get killed very easily. A player, even if you got like Tri-Green and maybe a Tri-Zarka, which is a lot of money for a new player,
yeah, it is.
you're still going to get obliterated by a player that's wearing full Tri-Boss gear, or even better, a soft cap player. A soft cap player, they can probably pretty much one-shot you. If they can't one-shot you, they can at the very least one-combo you with ease, thanks especially to the Renown system. So the new player experience really starts to falter once players hit level 56, even just level 55, level 54. Once they hit where leveling starts to take more than 10-20 minutes per level, once they hit to the point where leveling is hours and hours for maybe 5% an hour, and even less as you go forward, 59 it's like 4% an hour, 60 it's like 2 to 3% an hour depending on where you're grinding. As a newer player, as a more experienced player, you can get a bit better experience, but not by much. And it really starts to suck the life out of them, because endgame is just more the same. You grind to get better gear to fight better monsters. You grind to get better gear so you can fight in better node wars, so you can earn more money from the nodes to get better gear to fight in better nodes, or even for castles. And that's all Black Desert has to offer for endgame. Now, a lot of players will say, oh, but Lighthouse, Black Desert's so much more than just grinding. You can life skill and you can explore. And yes, those aspects of Black Desert do exist, but for the MMO community, most players that are involved in life skilling, they're heavily involved in the skill aspect. And by skill, I don't mean like technical skill, I mean more life skills. They don't necessarily come to games like Black Desert to skill. Like, there are a lot of players that play Black Desert for life skills. I have been in life skill guilds myself. For anyone that knows the name Luxury Elite, I was part of that guild, for example. And life skilling is a great thing in Black Desert, but there are games that I would say do life skilling a lot better than Black Desert and make the player feel a lot more involved than Black Desert life skilling does. And Black Desert life skilling, it's rather shallow. Once you know how to process one thing, you pretty much know how to process anything. All that changes are the recipes, and you don't really need to do anything special to get most recipes, unless you need to go out and gather specific items such as logs or rough stones. Most recipes are fairly easy. Some recipes you can't even do yourself, you have to send to workers, which divorces the player from the product and makes it feel less of their own accomplishment and
more
more
of where you have to send your workers to do
just
it.
pressing buttons in the game.
Like crafting a
boat,
you really need to use your workers to do that.
The entire point is to immerse the player so it doesn't feel like that. And endgame Black Desert is really just the same thing all game long. But the effort required to get endgame Black Desert is immense. I've been playing Black Desert for over a year, for almost a year and a half now. And despite playing a lot, which as a content creator, I play a lot more than the average player does, I am still not at endgame. I am not at soft cap yet. I have some tech gear.
What he's saying is he's not level 62, and he's not.
With the exception of Dimtree.
I'm assuming he means soft cap is 62.
I'm not at endgame yet, and a lot of players
once you get 62, it's
even
really
lower than I am. And this is the point where a lot of players start to quit, because they realize that endgame is unfeasible for them. It takes way more of their time, and as a gamer in today's age, you have to make a choice between which games you want to play. If you want to play Overwatch, that's less time spent grinding in Black Desert. If you want to play Black Desert, that's less time spent playing Overwatch, or Smash Brothers, or World of Warcraft, or whatever other new games there are that have come out, or even old games that you want to revisit. Yes, you can AFK in Black Desert, which is definitely one of its charms, but a lot of players don't want to AFK in Black Desert because it does consume their computer's resources. They do have to leave it on all the time, and occasionally you just want to let your computer rest. So, endgame Black Desert really, it's a long way away, and it starts to become very recognizable once you hit level 56, level 57. Once the tutorial, finger quotes, is done, it's really easy to see how far away endgame is, especially the more into it you get. When you realize that a single piece of endgame gear, like a tri-boss accessory, like a crescent ring, will cost more than all of your gear put together in the stage before tri-boss gear, that is really disheartening. So the new player experience in Black Desert starts off really strong. It starts off, the character creation, the graphics, and the combat all amazing. They're all like best in the industry. No other MMO even comes close to being able to knock Black Desert off its perch, and it's this niche that Black Desert sort of exploits, along with its nature as an open world PvP game, which a lot of players come to the game to enjoy the open world PvP. That is one of its biggest draws, and new players flock to the game because they love that idea. But as they start to learn more about the game, as they learn about how far away endgame is, and especially once they get kicked off the Olivia server, or even if they're on the Olivia server and they run into a returning player that has actual gear, they start to realize that apart from the amazing graphics and combat, the game is the same the entire way through. All that changes are the animations and the monsters you're fighting. Open world PvP is great, but as a new player, and even months afterwards as you try to get better gear, it's difficult to get fair matchups. Most of the time it's a stomp one way or the other. Either you stomp the opponent because you have better gear than they do, or they stomp you because they have better gear than you do. And there's not many fights, especially early on, for the first couple months, that are really in the middle. It's either you find an absolute newbie that has terrible gear that you can stomp, or you get stomped by someone that's got much better gear than you, who's been around for longer than you have. And so the new player experience really fails to keep the player in. There's just... it takes too long to get from being a new player to being a player that can compete. And honestly, that word competition is really what kind of separates Black Desert from other games. Other games, you can compete very early on. Guild Wars 2 is probably the best example, because Guild Wars 2, you hit 80, you get some karma exotics, basically welfare exotics, and you're off to the races. You can now fight other players. Are you going to do well? Probably not, but you can still beat other players that are level 80, have been playing a lot longer than you, have ascended gear, have legendaries, because as long as you outskill them, your gear is good enough to allow you to compete. In Black Desert, even if you hit 60, if you're still wearing tri-greens, you're going to get demolished by a soft cap player. It's not even going to be a competition. They could probably stand and let you attack them for like 10 seconds, and then hit you with some skills and you die anyways, even though you've been attacking them for a long time. So
basically, you're not going to be viable in PvP
players,
in this game for
and that's
a
why a lot of new
long
players quit Black Desert. They realize that despite the shiny veneer of the really beautiful graphics, despite the a visceral feeling of combat, how great it feels to tear through enemies. Like seriously, I have more fun playing Black Desert combat-wise than I do Dynasty Warriors, a game built around the idea of combat and making a player a little god that tears through thousands of enemies at once. But once the player gets past the nice graphics and the great combat, Black Desert has nothing else to offer. Everything else will take you pretty much forever, unless you want to do life skilling. And if you want to be a life skiller, there are better games to do life skilling in, unless you really just want the feeling of life skilling 24/7, in which case Black Desert does offer that for sure. That is something Black Desert has. So new players, they come into Black Desert full of hopes and dreams and willing to do open world PvP and join guilds for massive guild versus guild sieges every week. And then they quickly realize that it's going to be several weeks to months before they're even ready to join the lowest tier of guilds, where they can spend a couple weeks to months being trashed on by other guilds who have soft cap members that will one-shot them and move on to one-shotting anyone else like them in the guild. And after several months of this and several $100s in real life money, because you are going to want pets, you are going to want at least weight or inventory for one character, you are probably going to want to get, at a very minimum, a costume, either processing or fishing, maybe cooking if you're into Imperial cooking, and you're probably going to want a few other things from the cash shop as well. And maybe if you want to be competitive, you're probably going to want artisan memories as well, because artisan memories do make the journey much easier. And this wears on players, and a lot of players quit because endgame is too far away. There are players that quit before this too. A few of my friends actually quit earlier on, around like level 40 to 50, because they just kind of realized that as a Korean MMO, Black Desert's grinding was just going to be too intense for them. And Black Desert is a game that, like I said, you got to choose between other games, but Black Desert also takes time away from other engagements. If you want to be grinding every night so that you can get to Node Wars faster, you do have to give stuff up. And that's the same with everything in life. If you want to go out and drink with friends, you've got to be willing to not spend the night with your girlfriend. If you want to spend the night with your girlfriend, you have to be willing not to go to dinner with your family. If you want to go to dinner with your family, you have to be willing to maybe study a little later for homework, or if you want to not have to do your homework that night because you want more sleep, you have to be willing to accept that you're gonna have to study harder at school. So it's all about giving stuff up, but Black Desert demands a lot of your time, a lot more than other games do. You play Overwatch, you can get a few games in an hour. You can probably get 3, maybe 4 games in if you get some fairly competitive games that don't go to overtime every single round. So Black Desert, you probably want to use an hour every night just for the grinding hour, and that's not to mention taking care of your workers, taking care to make sure your AFK stuff is always going on, such as processing, turning in Imperial Trade, managing your workshops. So Black Desert, it demands a lot of your time, and players can realize that fairly early on as well. A lot of my friends realized that around level 30 to 40, like I was saying, and they quit before they got too invested. And then some players, they'll play for a little and realize Black Desert just isn't for them at all. And that's a personal opinion. Like, if you don't like the combat in Black Desert because you kind of get overwhelmed by action combat, that's a personal thing. I actually know players like that have quit Black Desert because the combat was too fast-paced for them, and they wanted something a bit slower, like WoW, and that's also fine. But the new player experience in Black Desert, it really fails to keep new players in the game after a certain amount of time. They don't really get to contribute to the game long enough to replace endgame players that phase out, because endgame players, they do phase out fairly often. It seems every month there's probably a few new posts from endgame players that of quitting and did a pen roulette to quit or threw away their gear. It's only been a couple months since the last major exodus of a guild. Man Up only left like 2 weeks ago. While some members did go out of the guilds, other members did just quit. FML left to private servers months ago.
I didn't even know they had private servers, Magic, in
if the new player experience
Black
isn't improved,
Desert.
it's less and less likely that new players will come to Black Desert and stay to replace these endgame players,
Probably
as
not.
these endgame players leave for other games. And other games is also a concern, because Black Desert's big advantage, like I've been saying, is its combat and its graphics, but as well as open world PvP. But as other games come out, like the next 2 years are actually pretty good for MMOs in terms of
we've got
releases. There's games such
New
as
World.
Lost Ark, Crowfall, Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, the new Dark Age of Camelot is coming out. There are a bunch of upcoming games, especially Battle for Azeroth, World of Warcraft, is going to take a lot of players back in.
Oh, this is an older video.
Several players
This video that
I know
he put
personally,
out
a
at the
lot
end
my
of
friends,
2018.
I myself,
So
are all going to be playing Black Desert a lot less.
it's funny, he put this video out in July of 2018, and yet when I listen to this video, everything he's saying is stuff I knew after I played Black Desert for the first 2 months after release in 2014. I picked up right away that it was just it's a great game and I love playing it, but I couldn't see myself trying to be end game. I couldn't see myself grinding. I can't see myself grinding this game all the way to like, oh, I want to have the best gear in PvP, because it would just take so long. Yeah. I think I love the graphics in Black Desert. I love the towns and the NPC setup and how they create what feels like a very living world. Is really, really good. Like when I don't know of any other MMO that when you walk around in town, it feels so alive. There could be no players, no actual real players in a town, and yet the town would still feel alive because there's just so many NPCs, and they're actually doing stuff. They're working at the forge, or they're walking around selling trade packs, or they're talking to other NPCs and having full-on conversations. And every single one of those, I think every single NPC in the game, you can go talk to them. They might just say hi to you, but they'll all talk to you. And a lot of them have, you can talk to them and try to gain knowledge about them by doing the little knowledge mini game, and just a lot there. Hey, what's up, Sterling? How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while, Sterling. I know I haven't been playing much World of Warcraft, but I'm probably gonna start playing some WoW. I don't know. I'm hoping that I get back to the office. To be honest, I've been working from home for so long because of the COVID-19, and it's actually kind of wearing me out, man. I'm getting cabin fever. I just would like to get back to the office. I enjoy working in the office more than working at home. I like to separate office from home. When I'm home, it's hard for me to focus on work. But um, oh no, I love the Sorceress role, and she's really super fun. Um, from what was the video? The video is from Games Lighthouse, this streamer, and actually he says all this stuff about Black Desert, and this was the end of 2018, but he still plays Black Desert. I mean, he's put up. I mean, he actually likes Black Desert. He's just saying that it's very difficult for a lot of people to stay in the game because it's very grindy. Because but you can see he's got videos as recently as bartering for beginners in Black Desert, 1 month ago. So he still plays Black Desert very regularly, and he's got some. The reason he popped up on my feed on YouTube was because I'd watched some of his tutorial videos before. So when I saw that one on why people are quitting Black Desert, even though it was 2018, I went in and watched it and thought it was pretty cool. So, but yeah, it's real. It's the High Level Source is really fun. You've been busy with work lately? Yeah, I've been trying to work, but it's been tough. Like I'm really tired today, and I have to get to bed here pretty soon. But I thought I'd do a stream because I haven't streamed much lately, and even though I know people don't really want to see me play Black Desert that much, they like watching me play WoW. I still want to say hi to all you guys out there, and I know wish you well. I know people are sitting at home because of the virus, and it's cool to I just want to touch base, say hi to everybody. But if anybody stops into the stream, we've seen a few people. But yeah, Sorrel, the sorceress is really cool. She's got a really good kit. She's got a lot of nice abilities. What I really like about the sorceress is that you have the ability to regenerate health and regenerate mana, and I'm talking out like on a large scale. So when I go in here and I use this ability, and maybe I go back and we'll see if I can burn some MP. You can see the blue bar below, right? Takes a while to really burn up your mana. But you can see already it's down to 942 out of 1052. Let's see if I can burn some more mana here. You can see I'm doing all these skills, and my mana is still very high. But at any time, trying to think of stuff I can do to burn mana here. It's pretty tough. But anytime if I want to regen mana, all I have to do is I can use up these shards down here. These right here, these shards here. And I can have an ability that consumes those and gives me MP. It would probably give me about, I'd say 25% of my MP bar. So every time I use it, I could get about, what are we looking at? 270, MP or something. So it's very easy. And across my origin health, I just have to do this. I just drop that skill on mobs, and it will give me a ton of health back, like a lot, actually. So it's very, very easy to stay alive against, against mobs. The sorceress has an innate natural. She's got a natural, pretty high defense to magical attacks, which is nice. So you're not really as worried about, casters and people hitting you. You do have some defense, and of course you have basically almost unlimited iframes here. I can port all over the place, and when I'm porting, I'm pretty much in an invulnerable state. So you can see you can't port nonstop forever, but man, you can certainly port a lot. The movement on the sorceress is really fast. I can get behind these guys, really easy. I mean, right now, just see how fast I got behind this mob. It's super quick. So yeah, it's very, very, very strong class, really. And in fact, one of the guys I was watching just the other day, the guy who did the guide, he's a very experienced player in Black Desert. He's not like a top tier player, but he's played the game a long time. He's one of those guys who, plays every class. He said in that video overview of classes, and he did that video just like I think 2 months ago or even like a month ago. He listed the Sorceress as what he considered probably the most powerful class in the game. Although he did say that the most powerful class right now is the Guardian because he's just so OP. But as far as a class that really doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, the Sorcerer is pretty tough. I mean, it's tough to kill a Sorceress. A good Sorceress is going to be very, very solid in probably pretty much any PvP engagement because of her iframes, and she can drop big damage, dropping her ultimate and stuff. Of course, it all depends on gear, but a really, really geared Sorceress is not something you're going to want to run into. It can be very dangerous. But yeah, let's see. What am I looking at? I'm actually at 25% health, so I mean 25% XP. I think I was only around 15%, so I got 10% in about an hour, I guess. I've been streaming for about an hour. Maybe I got a couple percentage points of those before I started streaming. It is 12:30, so. I've got to figure that combo out. I always forget. I think I have an idea how that combo works, but I'm not sure. Cat meowing at me. Guess he wants to come in and hang out with Daddy. Hey, what's up, Sonic? How you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. It's right there. I used my MP regen. I do not know how I'm doing that combo there. God, that drives me nuts. I think, I mean, I'm doing Shift F and then Shift. I'm doing Shift, wait, Shift F. And then I'm doing Shift something else, and she's doing that combo. It's almost like she can just do the same one twice. I don't know. It's weird. Working up a sweat. Only 8%. Let's see if we're competing with somebody here. Let's go ahead and do a quick. Oh, damn it. I always play on Olivia 5. Always seems to be the one that gives me the best grind spots. I did it again. It's this F, and then I think it's, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm glad I'm doing the combo, but I don't know how I'm doing it. So. Oh, he got me.
Hey guys, so this video is about should you play in BDO in 2018? Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
I really should have watched this video, Magic, on the anniversary, because there was so much stuff in the anniversary, it looks like.
Hey guys, and welcome to the 4th anniversary celebration part 1 in Black Desert. So, as Black Desert turns 4 years old on the NNEU servers,
This is an old video, though.
Big events out there. Now, last week we got the pre-celebration events, and this week we're getting part 1 of the 4th anniversary celebration events. There's a lot of free stuff, some really nice quests, and some pretty nice rewards. Although, notably, the free try boss gear that every other region got has still not been added to.
That's an old video. Anyways, I gotta head to bed. I apologize, guys. I wish I could play longer, but I actually have a lot of work to do tomorrow. What am I? I'm actually at 30%, so we got a good 15% of our level, which is not bad. And I haven't done the Awakening quest yet, so I don't have my Awakening weapon, so that's something I'm going to do next time I get online. We're going to focus on getting the Awakening weapon. We've already opened up the Awakening tree, and I have some of the skills, even though I don't have the gear. Yeah, that's it. So it's shift and then shift F and then shift W does that combo. So I'm not sure what the requirements are energy wise, but I figured that's what it was. Let's try it again. Shift F, shift W. Okay, but I have to have. I don't know if is it on cooldown or something. The skill's not on cooldown. Well, I guess it is. It is on 13, 11, 10 seconds. But that's my other skill, so I don't know. We'll try it again here in a second. Let's see if it works. So we're going to do Shift F and then Shift W here. Once we get a pretty good group of people together, see if we can combo that up and see how that works. Which for you guys wouldn't be Shift F, Shift W. It would be Shift D, Shift. Or no, it would be Shift F, I'm sorry. People aren't going to be rebinding F and W, Shift F, or F key and W key, probably not. So we're going to do Shift F, Shift W, and it didn't work. I don't know why. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Maybe there's some other key combination. Ooh. I get hit so rarely, you know? I'm like really hit, like really tagged. Like this is one of those MMOs where if the mobs are your level or lower than your level, they just don't hit you very hard. Now if I go and fight a bunch of mobs that are like, 5 levels over me, then, it starts to change, they can start tagging you pretty good. I mean, in the original games, you would just get annihilated. In fact, I tried to go up and level against mobs that are within my AP, my attack power range, but they were just destroying me because there were so many people sitting around with guns. They had all these guns, and so there's like people, like 10, 20 guys in the background just shooting me with guns while I'm trying to kill the melee, and of course I'm just getting annihilated. I can't survive when I have that much physical power. Now, if it's magical, I have a lot better magic damage than I do physical, magical defense than I do physical. Oh no! And away we go. I'll show you that they say Lan's the only character class that can fly in the game, but I'm going to prove to you right now that Sorceress Can fly. Not like the Lon, but as a sorceress, you can travel through the air pretty good. So we're going to show you that right now. So we can get 3 off. But still, we traveled all the way from that cliff up there all the way to here. So you can travel through the air pretty good as a sorceress. Not as good as a Lon, but and also you can do this ability here. You can do basically, your dodge just moving in one direction, hitting shift is going to execute this ability. But you also have another skill, which is just your when moving forward and holding and hitting right click. You'll do that, and you can kind of it's a very short cooldown. It's about a 3-second cooldown. So basically, you can do forward shift space, and then forward right click. And you can kind of, I think that's kind of, you can do that over and over again. So boom, boom, right click, boom, 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 right click. So you have to do 3 dodge forwards before you can get into the next right click. So it's a good closer when you're in PvP. If I would like this guy up here, if he was an enemy target, and he was trying to get away from me, I could just go boom, boom, and I'm pretty much, well, actually, I kind of fucked it up there, it looks like. Yeah, you can see right there, I was able to quickly, get behind him. So, and it's already off cooldown again, so, boom, and I'm right there, so. And when you play the character good, long enough, you'll know that you'll have your distances really well, so you'll know exactly how far you're going to go, so. Yeah, the Lon does have fall, yeah, and I knew that the Lon gets falling immunity for about 10 seconds or so. It's a pretty good amount of time. So the Lon can really go a long way. Because if you're fast, you could traverse a long distance and still fall quite a bit and take very little damage. But again, here, the Sorceress though does have, see, I can teleport pretty quick. Sorceress does have pretty good, movement. Yeah, I can move around the map very quickly. All right, so I went with kind of a very dark, kind of darkish pale skin on her. I tried to make her look kind of evil. I went away from that like really orangish hair. I like the way the hair looks in the back, but I'm not real happy with her eyes. Her eyes look a little bit funny. I got the stupid glasses on. I'm on the wrong thing. Blush is what I want. Scale that back. Alright, so now her eyes look a little better, I think. Alright, let's try that combo. Didn't work. Maybe I'm just doing this. No, that didn't do it. I don't know. I do not know if I'm doing that one combo. Yeah, I think it's. I don't know if it's Awakening. They do have another one. It's ridiculous. I want to get my Lon to that point. She's actually not that far off from finishing her Succession quest. If you look here, so we now have the Succession tab and the Awakening tab, and I've already got some, a few Awakening abilities, but a lot of these obviously require my Scythe. But this is what Shift C while using Amulet. So let's take a look. It doesn't seem to do anything, so I'm not sure exactly what this is. Actually, it's not Shift C. It's I tried this before. It's actually just down right click, I think. Yeah. I just did this skill the other. Oh, I got the Lawn Succession got nerfed hard PvP wise. I didn't know there. I've never done the Succession on any of the characters. So, oh, you mean they're a lot? Yeah, I saw that they were pretty. That initially, like their Succession was, they were hitting really hard. Like their damage was like insane in Succession, and that they lost some of their like defensive abilities in Succession, but that they were doing so much more damage, it kind of leveled out. I don't think I would play Succession on the lawn. I think I would probably still go with Awakening. I don't know. I haven't tried. I haven't got there yet. Oh, so we accumulated like 37. Sorry for my yawning. Skill points here that we can use. The Ultimate Crow Flare, which is kind of cool because this is basically Ultimate Crow Flare allows us to cancel out of any of our skills. Every motion can be instantly canceled by Crow Flare. So that's really cool because if you're in PvP and you start to do like this alt, like an alt, you would be able to cancel out. Say, and how cool is this though? I mean, when the Sorceress first came out, who didn't want to play the Sorceress? I mean, look at this shit. You know? Where are you, little ducky? I know there's a little duck around here. Come on, come to me. I will not hurt you, little ducky. So yeah, pretty cool. I executed this skill the other day. Set yourself in the side while damaging enemies. Maybe it wasn't that one. No, it wasn't that one, 'cause that's definitely side. Maybe it was my main skill tree that had it. Shadow Riot. Consumes all shards of darkness. You attack, down attack, air smash. Activates on flying kick if you have one or more shards of darkness. Yeah, there it is. Come on, give me something to kill. What? Look at that. There's a floating stone in the air here. What is this all about? Did you see me hit it? Oh. The other thing that Black does, that guy didn't mention in his video, is that Black Desert has some of the best climbing mechanics of any MMO. I love the climbing mechanics in Black Desert. And you can time your jump on a sorceress, so you can like jump off a mountain and then jump as you're falling down. So you can time it so you don't take as much damage. So I'll show you here. Let's do that off this cliff up here. So you can jump pretty far on a sorceress. It's pretty cool. It's good for PvP purposes. It really comes in handy in PvP. Actually, it didn't work. Huh. It kept automatically jumping. Let me try that again. It kept automatically jumping me. That was weird. That was weird. I thought you could... It looked like it was doing it automatically because I was in the air. I thought you could actually stop and then start again, but maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. I'll try one more time. Looks like I think I'm wrong on this one. Yeah, I am. So yeah, once you start, you can't stop or you're just going to fall, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, I need to do the succession and all that fun stuff. I learned another thing about the character window, though, magic, which I didn't. I knew from back in 2014 or whenever they added it. I just forgot about it, that you can actually scroll up and down in the character window here. I was doing this to get, which can be really annoying if you have a lot of characters. But you can literally just, I mean, how cool is this? No MMO I know of has this ability to easily see, That's cool too. They have my character cosmetic thing available as well on the homepage, so that's pretty cool. That's the only thing I'm not really happy with this character is I'm not real happy with the makeup. I'm not real happy with the skin color. Yeah, the hair is, I think I'm okay with the hair. Skin color, not so much. The problem is if you go with like something like the standard, this is the skin color they give you when you pretty much default skin color that usually you have. It comes out looking awfully yellow, very yellowish. I actually like this one quite a bit. It's a little bit more pink, but still it's a little yellow. But this one actually works out pretty well. But it doesn't look as evil as when you go with this one. This is definitely more kind of demonic, evil looking. Go with the lighter skin color. See how that works out for us. That actually looks probably a little bit better than the darker one. Not as kind of creepy, ghostly looking, but it's a little bit more. It just looks a little nicer, I think. Sorellin, you found Sorceress had real issues matching skin color from. Yeah, I think they all have that issue, Sorellin. Yeah, I think in general the lighting is like that, and honestly, I think it's done on purpose. I think that the makers did it on purpose so that you would buy the character creation guide. Because notice this, Cerulean, which is really, really funny. Notice that, and there's the other MMO that does this exactly like this pretty much is, which has the exact same issues, is Vindictus. And so look at it this way. So if we go to the character select, right? There's got a couple mechanisms in place here to totally basically screw you out of your money, right? But you can change lighting, but it still doesn't really come out. It's still not quite right. So if I go to create character, you know, Sorceress. You do have different, lighting. And actually, the one I don't even know which one it was in by default. I think it's 2. Actually, it's not 2. But I find 2 is pretty realistic. 2 is the one I like to use when I'm trying to match the color. But if you go to the skin color here, face, skin, I'm pretty sure it's going to be this top left one. Yeah, see, it's pretty much this one. This really is going to give you, this top left one's really going to give you the closest to like human skin, I think. It's pretty much this one. Actually, her black hair doesn't look that bad. It's got a nice sheen to it. And Vindictus does the same thing. So what they do, what's really funny is, so you create this character. Now, I'm not going to create this one, but just pretend that I were to create this character. The one thing you can do is you can save the settings, which is a really nice feature. So I can go in here and say, Sorc, right? Boom. And here's, obviously I have my Sorc a lot shorter. And here's like one I created that looks, a little bit shorter, a little bit more white in the hair, and a little bit more heavy eye makeup, but fairly similar. And but what they do is you create the character, and then you can't delete the character, right? So if I were to create this character, just assume that I create it. If I were to create that character, it would sit here, and if I didn't like it, if I went into the world and I was like, oh, this color, the skin tone doesn't look that good, I want to delete. Now I want to delete it. Well, now you got to wait 24 hours or 48 hours before you can delete it. And when you first start the game, you only have like maybe 4 or 5 characters. When you're on the free version, I think you have like maybe 3 character slots, maybe 4. I don't know, 3 or 4 on the free version. And so you very quickly are going to run into a problem. Well, I've created 2 or 3 characters, but I don't like the way they look once I'm in the game. And now I don't have any character slots. So what do? You go to the Pro Shop and you buy more character slots. The other thing they do, which is really kind of lame, is they don't let you go into the world. Well, it's the same thing, really. If they have the ability, right? So if I go to Churl here, and let's enter. And at least they do this on the back end. I bought a character change coupon, right? So, I don't know. I'm tempted to go with like a black, with a black hair. The black hair is kind of cool. Let's go. One thing is, if you buy the character change coupon, it's good for like 3 days, I think. Like, if you look at the top right corner of the screen here, it's going to say that I have an appearance coupon that's good for another 20 hours and 43 minutes. It's good for at least 2 days. I think it's 2 to 3 days. But it actually is not character specific, right? So I bought this character change coupon for, I don't know, $10 maybe or something. Maybe it was $8, $8. But I don't think it's character specific. So let's say we go to, and it's good for, you have 6 slots. Yeah, well, it's good for, I think, any character on my account, which is so it's really nice. But still, they're forcing you to do that. And the other thing that's easy, if you go to the character creator here, like you can see here that I have this image here, which means I can change this character. I have a character change coupon still in effect. I don't know if it'll work for these other ones. It doesn't look like it does have it. So let's go to this one. Because you can always go into the beauty shop anytime you want. You just may not have a character change coupon. They're geniuses. The people who made this game are geniuses in the way that they designed it so that you will want to spend money. Oh, I'm not really concerned with bonuses. Magic. It's not like, you know what I mean? I'm not really concerned with bonuses that much. But now if I can get a value change pack, does that include a character change in it? Is that what you're saying? So like if I go to, I don't know if I have one in here. I know I've got one somewhere. But we can go to beauty, and I don't think we'll be able to save it though. I think it is specific to the character. But it still shows. Like, look at the top right corner, I think it'll still show. So here's another source. See, it still says Grant's coupon. So let's say I go in here, face, and we're just gonna change my icon. Well, I'm not gonna change my icon. Let's go and change my makeup or something. And we're just gonna say no, let's not do that. I mean, that's fine. But we want to do something that's more visible. So let's go to hair, color, basic, black. Hair ends are going to be here, black, black, basic. We'll put the shine up a little bit. Just trying to go with something kind of like what they had. Still not getting really anything kind of like what they had. Let's take the basic and knock this down to here. We're gonna knock this up. And then we're gonna go black. Anyways, it's different. So let's save this. I'm just testing. So even though I bought the, look at that, I bought the appearance change coupon, but apparently the coupon applies to every character. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not really too concerned about the value packs and all the stuff. I mean, I don't anticipate Magic that I'm going to be playing this game in any way hardcore. You know, I'm just probably gonna play it on and off. It's really just something I enjoy playing in my spare time while I'm waiting for a better MMO. I think this game is really just too. The one thing about Black Desert I don't like is the fact that they don't force you to, but you pretty much, if you want to be viable, like if this game were to come out like brand new for the first time tomorrow, and everybody knew how the game was played, like they knew all the mechanics, they would make so much money because everybody would dump so much cash into inventory spaces, into extra weight, into pets, into cosmetic gear, into all these things that increase XP experience gain, that increase knowledge gain, that increase your life skills. I mean, all these things, and everybody would sink all this money into it, and it's kind of sad. I mean, MMOs really shouldn't be like that. I understand that they're making a game and they're trying to make money, but I think, in my mind, they're kind of taking advantage of the player base. But it's not like anybody's forcing them to buy anything. Oh, so you're saying the value pack does that? I don't think it does. Ah, dude. Well, Magic, I bought the character change coupon before I used the value pack. I had no idea that it had the character part in it. So that's why it's probably on all my characters. Now, hey, Magic, when the value pack wears off, do the changes I make on my character stay there? That's what I'd like to know. I mean, if a value pack lets you change all your characters for 3 days and then all those changes stay, then yeah, a value pack would be a pretty good purchase. Like I said, the character change coupon wasn't that much money. I think I paid like $8 for it or something. I think it was like $8. I mean, although that's more money than I wanted to pay, to be honest. But I've gone back and forth on this character's cosmetic. God, I hate how This is why Magic, why you see me without my headpiece on, because it keeps showing up in the beauty salon. I don't know why that is. And it only does it on this character. Every other character, their headpieces and gear don't show up, I don't think. I don't think. I could be wrong, but... I've even tried going with like a dark blue, but you know, but it doesn't really come out the same way. So I think if you go black, you really do have to add quite a bit of shine to it. Although it'd be interesting to see what it looks like in the sunlight. The other one that I went with was not that one. I think it was this one. This gives you a really dark, but I think really if you're going to go with the Sorceress, you kind of have to, if you really want to make her look kind of evil, I think one of these skin tones is a little bit more kind of evil looking. So the dye doesn't stay when it goes away, but what about the character change? What about like, so it doesn't have like the character change, it's just like, that would be interesting. Actually, this hair doesn't look too bad. Skin's too glossy. All right. Oh, those will stay with the, okay, that's cool. So here's a much darker. You get in the sun here. This is a very dark hairstyle. Doesn't really show up that well. That's why I don't really like the black. I mean, it looks probably a lot better once you're in the shade. Even then, the shade, it doesn't really show up that well. It's bad you can't really move these around a little bit more. Don't really like that either. I'm very picky when it comes to this stuff. Basic black, herons. Let's see, hair black, basic. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't look great, but I can't seem to get it the way I want. But it's really just the skin tone I can't get right. I also don't like how, like, the blush on her face, it just doesn't come out really right either. Like, her face looks kind of pink. I guess it's maybe the blush I'm using is black. But her face looks very pink, and then her chest skin on her chest looks very kind of ashen, like she took some ashes out of a fire and just rubbed it on her skin. So, kind of strange, but that's alright. It looks pretty, fairly evil. 2 comments from that one. You have a value. Yeah, I read the value pack. So once the value pack goes away, any appearance change you make stays. Yeah, that's cool that the value pack does that. I don't even know where I got the value pack from. I mean, I probably, and then I've got stuff like this. Weird. I have all kinds of weird stuff. So, you know. Golden backpack. See, look, I've got another value pack here. And I've got 2 more value packs here. So I have quite a few value packs. I've got another appearance change coupon here. I don't know why I ever bought an appearance change coupon. That was obviously a waste of money. I've got a megaphone. We used to use megaphones back in 2014 on our server with our guild. It was a guild thing. I don't remember why, but we actually used them. Oh, so those were like level 80. We could try to, obviously, to grind something that's a little bit higher. These are pretty good. But we really need to do the Awakening questline. Is the book not character bound? The one that's used for XP gain, I wonder. You know what I mean? Magic, you know the book that you get that gives you like 30% XP boost to quest turn-ins or whatever? I did that long quest on my Shy, and I'm wondering if that book, if it's not soulbound to that character, I could just hand it to this character. That would be nice because it's kind of a long quest. It took like 2 hours to do. So that would be kind of nice if that isn't, but I don't know if it is bound. It probably is. It's like a, it's like see how I have this adventurer's tomb equipped? This tomb can be upgraded by doing a very long quest chain that turns it into a different book. And that book gives you like 30% experience on your quests, like your quest turn-ins and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna guess you can't, which kind of sucks because, like I said, it is a pretty long quest. But who knows? I'm gonna go ahead and eat because I want to get the health buff here. See, for you guys who aren't familiar with Black Desert, every time you eat, you level up your health. So it's kind of one of those really odd things. Like, when the game first came out, people didn't know stuff like that. You'd never think that eating food would be leveling up your health and that your breath is leveling up just because I'm running. Like, this is literally leveling up because I'm physically running. So, and strength is leveled up by carrying big trade packs back and forth between cities and stuff. Maybe it'll level up other ways, I don't really know. Yeah. So you can see that I didn't do a lot of stuff on this character. Like, very little. I did do some training. I'm Apprentice 7, which is not that great.
You can entrust your goods without worry, since it's an official trade zone approved by the head of the Merchant Guild.
I'm running out of inventory space, and even in the bank here, it's getting pretty bad. I have so little money, man. So Yeah, it's I bet you probably can't do it. Let's find out, you know. I need to get to, holy shit. Oh, time flies when I'm talking to people. I gotta get offline here, guys, and get to bed. I didn't realize it was so late. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm gonna guess that this is soulbound. I don't see where it says soulbound, so I don't know if this is going to work. We just happen to be right at the warehouse.
If you trade through me.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Not get in the bank. Yeah, and the quest, like the quest line for this book is kind of lengthy, you know. So that sucks. Yeah, you're right. I always forget the normal storage is better for stuff. I always forget that because the marketplace won't let you store anything that you can't sell, and you can't sell the book. I always do that. Oh. Yeah, let me try the normal marketplace. Always do that.
If you have a lot of stuff, leave it with me. Within your allowed space, of course.
God damn it, why'd you run off? Girl, where are you going?
Money comes and goes. It's an ethereal thing.
Yeah, well, I'm not seeing the book. In my... Oh, there it is. Alright. Sweet, it did let me grab it. If this works, this will be cool because, like I said, doing the quest was, like, so time-consuming. Whereas now I know how to do the quest, so it probably wouldn't be as big a deal. It still would take you a couple hours, probably, or at least an hour and a half at the very minimum. So much running around, unless you had, like, some crazy mount travel boost.
You want to extend your storage space. If you buy a house
Hmm.
used for storage.
Fancy that. We can. Well, that's going to help us. So the Changa gives us combat grade experience obtained through quest rewards, 30% plus 30%. So that's awesome. I didn't know if we could do that. And of course, now I have to, once again, equip this and this. What else do we have? Am I even using a title? Currently I'm using the Wanderer title. I know, Magic. I need to go to bed. I can't believe that I was just like, oh, it's 12, what was it, like 12:40 or something, and the next thing you know, it's 1:30. Time flies in this game like so fast. This is a super cool looking building, guys, and I just love the mechanics, the flying mechanics here. So cool. Looks like I'm gonna assume they want me to go up top, but you never know. Mechanics certainly point there. Well, son of a bitch. I don't know if this is the right thing. I don't know if I'm doing the right quest or not.
Oh, we're Borwick. Day here. We're Borwick. We're Borwick, Nangai. Wait, Dorishi. Nyari, Nora Juba.
Okay, I'm a little confused here. What I'm supposed to do? I don't think that statue is my awakening quest, is it? All right, we're gonna have to actually read the quest, guys. In order to gain more strength, Black Spirit says you need to find the origin of the sorceress. There should be something at a wizard altar that could be a clue. Find Cardigan's seal on the statue of 4 lions with wings at the highest place. The wizard's altar. Well, this is the highest place. I just didn't want to have to go through this whole dialogue. I don't know if this is part of it. Unbelievable. Well, let's. What do you think of Cyrus? Cyrus is asleep. Hi, Cyrus. What do you think, buddy? You think this is the right quest? I don't think so. Okay, well, she's doing that.
Oh, we're Borwick. Day here.
That's what I was thinking. It looks like the main story quest. I remember on the main story, I thought I talked to hit one of these towers. Yeah, I know. I did skip the cutscene magic, and then it didn't seem to do anything. You know, so okay, he's gonna take the ladder, which I did take the ladder, and I interacted with that goblin, but I'm gonna guess that's not. Okay, yeah, see, it's not the goblin. It's this statue here. Okay, all right, cool. I screwed up when I went up the ladder here. I interacted with this goblin to my left, and not the statue over here to the right. So honestly, I didn't even see that statue to the right. Okay, no, it is there, but it's not really illuminated. Lion statue. This is it. Descendant of Karshan. Lineage of Black Magic goes far back to the Book of Ancient Man. I am Cardian, the great sorceress, and I shall find the parent sorceress managed to discover. This seals you shall head to Tariff, my hometown. Alright. Kind of high up. If I was a lawn, I'd just jump right off. Damn lawns. You know what I mean? Damn it. I wasn't in combat mode. I wasn't in combat mode. I was trying to I was trying to airwalk there, and I wasn't in combat mode. I'm such a noob. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the stream here because I'm just going to auto path to Tariff while I go jump and take a shower before I go to bed. And I will. Thanks for stopping by, everybody, for watching. Good to see you, Magic. And thanks for Cyrillian for stopping by. Good to see you, Cyrillian. Haven't talked to you in a while. And also, who else stopped by? We had Sonic stop by as well. Good to see Sonic. And I'll probably do a few more Black Desert videos, but I don't know when I'm going to play World of Warcraft again. I'm still just really burned out on it. So it's been tough. Every time I try to play, I'm just like, yeah, it's just been tough for me. So. Let's put up some. I guess I can leave the stream running while I take a shower. Anybody wants to see me auto path? Probably not, right? Alright, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to jump in the shower and get ready for bed. Alright.
What we need to protect is not only Tarif. The ones who desire the Cartian book have all gone corrupt, unable to beat its power.
Okay, and I think we'll just log out right here. We can continue on with our quest when we get back online tomorrow. I'm not happy with my character's look. Lips are way too shiny. It's pretty cool how they dim the music when you go into the character creator. Try to give her a little bit of a snarl, like a very, very muted, kind of like where she's snarling her lip up just a little bit. Give her a little bit more attitude. The other thing I want to do is I want to go under her eyes here, and I'd like to brighten this up just a tad. And then we're going to go into the try possibly. Just make those eyes a little bit more startling, I think. Okay. I don't know what we're gonna do with this skin. The one thing I've been wanting to do with this character really is go with something different with her hair, but it's so hard to find anything that really looks good. One of the colors I played around with was really this one, but I wanted to go with kind of like a ragtag, like witchy, vagabond-looking character, but it doesn't work out. That's where I've changed her look. Like literally today, I've probably gone into the character, the beauty salon there for this character probably about 100 times today. Really trying to tweak her up, get her to look. Yeah, she's got definitely has more of a snarl with her lip there, so that looks better. Her eyes definitely are standing out a little bit more. I don't like the fact that she looks like she's got red blush on. So let's see if we can try to. I don't know if there's anything we can do about that because the blush I've put on her is black, so I'm not sure what we can do there. We go to face and we go to makeup and we go to blush. Maybe if we get rid of it altogether. That one looks pretty good. Why still having this reddish stuff on her face? There doesn't seem to be anything I can do about that. And some elven looking eyebrows. That definitely looks better. Still looks awfully blush in that lighting. Of course, once you get her out of here, she'll probably look quite a bit different. Her eyes look a little too dark, obviously, but hair is a little bit too light. The ends aren't dark enough either. I wish I could do the ends of her hair darker. So if we go to color, hair ends, there's nothing we can do. They're already as dark as I can get them. This darkens them up though, it takes some of the shine out. No, it doesn't. There we go. I'm not liking where this is going. This definitely makes her look more menacing. Ooh, that's kind of creepy looking. Okay. Well, she's starting to look a little tougher. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you again real soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.